Hi, welcome to Midnight Expressions, and my name is Lauren Remington, and this is one of my card making classes. Today we're going to make a wonderful card using a variety of products. One is, this is Graphics 45, and this is one of their sheets that has all sorts of like stickers and things it comes with. And it comes with a whole variety of beautiful complementary spring colored papers. Isn't that beautiful? That's so pretty. And some complementaries on the back. They pick up the colors on the front and kind of mix it up a bit on the back. But there was, I believe, 8 sheets. I want to say 8 sheets of beautiful variety of gorgeous florals that were just amazing, which is why I bought them. And I love it, love it, love it. Highly recommend it. Now, I have a little bit of a cold today. I actually think it may be an allergy. I don't know. They seem the same to me. If it's over by tomorrow, then I'll know it worked. It was just an allergy. Otherwise, it's a cold. But I took some Dayquil, so hopefully I'll be able to make it through, power through this class. I didn't want to get behind schedule. I wanted to share with you some other things I used for this card. I love fawn dyes. A couple of warnings on them though. This is, well, here's the fawn dye that I enjoyed using. This one has kind of that wonky stitch to it, so I used the large one, and I use this, I also use this one sometimes. The thing is they're sharp, and they can have little pieces of metal, and the metal can act like a sliver if you handle it wrong. And it's the only ones that do that are these from Fawn. I'm sorry, Fawn. I love your designs, and I certainly love your stitching ones. But I have had probably half a dozen at least, slivers of metal from these. So one of the ways I avoid that, because I still like to use them, is I use wax paper from the dollar store. And you just, you know, I use a little bigger piece than this, but you put it between, here's your paper, you put your wax paper, cardstock, wax paper, and then the dye, and you put it through your machine. And that way it just pops out, and you don't really handle the dye that much. Try not to run your hand along the back of it or anything. And so I just wanted to warn you about that, because that's a fair warning. But they're beautiful dyes. They're still pretty, and I would still buy them. Just, I wish they would fix that issue. So, the other, let's see, the other one I used was, let's see, where did it go? Here it is. This one is a little one, this one here, and it came from China. This one came from China. It came for the whole set, nice set, and it works beautifully, it cuts beautifully. This one here is also from China. It's a little heavier set. It's a brass, and it's, honestly, I haven't used it yet, but it looks like it's a lot sturdier. Let's see what else. Let me see if I can pause this. I'm giving these ladies choices on this particular card. Again, I made 2. This one I colored myself, and then, so it looks like a watercolor, and I just used Tombow. Little Tombow things. I love them. If you have Copic markers, or, you know, there's so many different brands out there. Or coloring pencils, or watercolor pencils, or, you know, whatever you want to use. And then I just scanned it into my scanner and put like 8 to a page. Boom, 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 boom. I use Make the Cut software. I love it, love it, love it. And then from there, I just took it into my Big Shot Pro and cut it out with these, each one. So I think I got 8 to a page, which was a good deal. So they're going to have a choice. They can either do it themselves, they can paint it themselves, or they can just use the one that's already done. And what I did on mine is I made sure it matched, the colors matched as best as possible with the colors that are in the paper. Okay, so I want to talk to you real briefly about the actual cardstock. Now, this one here is, I want to say Stampin' Up, Meadows something, and it's a beautiful green, very pretty green, and it's expensive though, and I don't like to waste paper by, you know, when you're going to have this hidden by another sheet in front of it and another sheet in front of that, why waste all that paper? And I'm kind of a stickler on this because, you know, there's no, even if you have oodles of money, why waste it? It's just silly. And why waste the cardstock? These all came from trees, you know, so I'm careful with them. So I always cut on the inside, and if this is going to be used for a border or a margin, I just cut the inside out. And I use that with another die. So in this case, I believe I used one of these and just cut out the center part. In which case, then you can use that center part as another layer on the outside. I also have one that I used on the inside. So you get double usage of your cardstock, which is important. Now the other one, I did the same thing on this one. On this particular one, since I'm just using it for a show and tell to you guys, this was one of the first ones I did, and I used this die. And so it's a little different. I was going to be using this extra die piece on the inside, but I changed my mind. So instead, instead I used a square. So the others, except for this one, the others are all cut as a rectangle with a little smaller. I used the smaller one, and I cut it out like so. So that way, when this sits on top, you won't notice it. You won't see the hole, but you save that extra cardstock that you can use for the inside of your card. So, or for another card, you know, keep it going. All right, so I just want to verify, kind of let you know about that. The other thing I did a little different. This is again Graphics 45 makes this particular little note card. They make it in a really tall one though, and it's beautiful, and I love it, and I bought it. But I won't really be able to use that on an A2 card in any way, shape, or form, because you'd have to slice off part of it and it would look terrible. So instead, and I don't do this very often, but this one is so beautiful, I really wanted to use it for the inside. And so what I did is I just brought it into, I think it was Paint Shop Pro, and you know, cut and paste, moved it down, removed the back part, and just slid it way down. So on the other one, it's a lot taller, and this portion is up way higher, about up to here. Like, it's more for like an A7 card. So that will work out perfect for what we're doing. And then I also printed out this little guy, and he's on cardstock, and he came from this one. And again, I bought these, so I feel justified in using them. This one here, I used this one. But again, it needed to be much smaller for our purpose. I will use those also down the road, but for our purpose, what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and this will be wrapped around, and this will be placed, glued onto here, about like so. And we'll glue it at the bottom, bottom right here, and we'll glue it here. Well, we'll tape it, double-sided tape. And what that does then, you will see, is it gives you a little pocket. And then this piece can slide down inside like so. Get the idea? You'll see when it's all done. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to put a butterfly at the top. Put some glue on the bottom, kind of the middle bottom of it, and we'll put it at the top, and it'll be like a little handle, and it'll also look really cute. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to tilt you down. Let me wipe this off, get a clean slate here. And the other thing is, be sure to remember to use on all of your cardstock that has white on the back. Obviously it has white in between, right? They just print on the front. So, and that's actually true. That's true with the originals too. So you start at the back, you hold it, your pen kind of down at an angle, and you're going to go along like this. And if you start in the center and go one side and then the center and go the other side, this way, in case if your pen slips, see how it slipped? And if it slips, you don't mess up the front part, which is the important part. So you're going to go like this. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Try it like this. Slick, huh? And see, and I've seen people try to go this way and this way and this way. Don't bother with that. Put it right in the center. Go once to the left, once to the right. That should do it. And sometimes you might have to go twice over it, but at least it's that's the easiest way to do it. And you want to do that because you don't want it looking unprofessional. This one doesn't need it because it's white, but it's okay because it has, well, you could here if you wanted to. I really don't think this one needs it, but if you wanted to, you could use like this on the edge, this one. This is kind of a yellowy. I'll go ahead and do it since I started it. It just finishes it off a little bit. It makes it look a little more professional. A lot more professional, actually. So we've got those two. Where's the other one? There's one more little piece here. This one. This little guy. This little guy. Always remember to get your caps back on your Tombow so they don't dry out. Same with Copic or any of those. And this one here, it says you are loved. Isn't that nice? You're loved. You're loved. You're loved. And same thing, we're going to go like this. Just around the edge. Once around the clock. Whoops. See, there I slipped. We all can slip on them, so that's why we don't want to. If you face it to the front, that's how you can slip, so you don't want to do that. Always work from the back side. So that one's done. And same with the butterflies. And on the butterflies, this one's already been done. I used black around the edges. And all I did is I found some beautiful images. Actually, I bought some. I think these came from my from Dover, D-O-V-E-R. They have CDs of botanicals and CDs of frames and CDs of bugs and all kinds of things and steampunk and on and on and on. And you just print your CD out and again I pull it in to make the cut. And then I can manipulate them and make them bigger or smaller and move around the page to see if I need like 10 to a page or if I need 15 to a page. And so that's why I love, one of the things, many things I love about Make the Cut. So here's another one, pretty little butterfly. And again, it looks like I've already done these. This one I didn't do yet, so I can do him. This one's the yellow one. And so you see you don't want all that white on there. So just going to go around the edge very quickly here. Real quickly like a fox. Definitely better. Okay. Now, a little more around that little tippy top edge. And then also you bend them. Bend them with a little bit on either side of the little wormy thing in the center. See, bend it. And then you have a place to put your little sticky stamp, the little bump ups. These, okay. So these have all been done, so I'm ready to rock and roll here. So I'm going to tilt you down and see how well we can work with this weird angle. I apologize. The reason it's at a different angle and why it's kind of wonky today is because, that's my new favorite word, wonky, is because I had to move the camera a little bit because I'm charging it while I'm working on it, which I probably should have waited till I was done charging. Okay, so it's going to be a bit of a stretch, but we'll do it. So here's my cardstock. Again, Clear Bags is the name of the company I get them from. And then I created my own logo and again, and Make the Cut. And then I print out onto my cardstock when I get them. I get reams of these cards, all pre-folded, all creased for folding. So it's very convenient. They come flat. You just put it in your printer, and you can print out landscape, and I can also print out vertically. So I do both. I split them in half and do both. And then I just have a nice stash of fresh cardstock to use. Pretty cool, huh? All right, so let's see. Let's start on the outside first. So we're going to just lay it down And this is my ATG glider. Again, I love it because it has so much tape on it. It's much cheaper than buying those little things, for me anyway. And when you lay your cardstock down, be sure to kind of match, make sure it's equal distance as best as possible on the two corners closest to you. And then it should line up pretty swell, like that. And same with this. We're going to, on this one, we're not going to worry about the inside part. We're just going to tape the outside because it's going to be covered up anyway. We just need to have it stick to it. Some people only do 2 sides when they put these things down. I like to do all 4 sides. I just don't like it sticking up at all. Isn't that pretty cardstock? That's so beautiful. And same thing here. I'm going to match here and see. This one is about 1/8 of an inch. I gave it about 1/8. Excuse me, 1/4 of an inch. First one was 1/8 of an inch. This is like 1/4 of an inch. And then we're going to use this guy right here. Now remember, these have a front and a back. So that is the back. That's the front. It's nice and this is nice and smooth, and this side's kind of rough. So we're going to put the tape on the rough side. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You notice I'm not being real precise on that. It's just to make it stick. And again, on my other cards, this part here cut out was a rectangle. This is kind of a weird shape, but don't worry about that because this is going to cover all that up. So I think we're pretty good there. Now, this one, I'm going to add some bump ups on the, I'm going to use the colored one since I've already colored it. The colored Hello. And you don't have to use 20,000 of these little bumps. When I first started using these little bump ups, my God, I put 20 to a piece. And you don't need that. You don't need that. It's silly. It's a big waste of money. These are expensive too. Even at wholesale, they're expensive. Amazingly so. Don't know why, but they are. And I've even thought about, you know, I suppose you could, if you wanted to, just get some foam, you know, like white foam or something, or even colored foam. And they have some that's sticky on the back, so you could, in theory, just cut your own little bump ups. That'd be a lot cheaper, much cheaper. So here, let's see. So I'm going this way. I'm going to flip it this way now, so you can see. This should be more correct for you. And I need to stand up so I can see what I'm doing here because I'm too far down. Okay, so about like so. Ta-da! Voila. That's nice. I like it sticking up like that. That helps. And same on the butterflies. You just need one little butterfly. He's not, the stickum thing is not going to show at all. I like this one here, this colored one. I'm going to put him kind of like there. And I think we'll use this little guy, the yellow one, the darker yellow one, here to brighten it up a little bit. So see, stick him, and we're just going to put him down here, I think, on this corner. And that's the front. Isn't that sweet? I love it. Okay, so now we're going to work on the inside. This is going to be easy peasy. Before we attach this down, we're going to work on this part. We're going to add this. So the first thing you do is just kind of put it back about less than, about 3/4 of an inch up from here. This here part should be about 3/4 inch up, approximate. And just fold those under. Okay? That's all you have to do right now. And then we're going to attach this like so. Like so. And so we're going to put tape here on the back side of this here, and we're going to put it here. So we'll start with here, and it's approximate, it's real close, and just right on the very bottom, and make sure there's nothing sticking over on the outside. Okay, and this one we're going to go, whoops, sorry about that. Okay, put it again like so. You don't have to hook it on yet, because once this is on, it'll hold it in place. So you want it in the middle and kind of at the bottom, right at the bottom base of this, and then like so. Now, what that does, you'll see, is this is the pocket I was telling you about. Oops, upside down. Like so. It'll go in and it'll stay there. It doesn't go any further. Isn't that perfect? And then it leaves a little border at the top. We're also going to add, in this case, when we put this one on, we're not using a bump up on this little yellow butterfly. We're just going to go across, not the middle and not the very bottom. The reason you don't want to go on the very bottom is you don't want tape coming out this part here. You want it totally on the back, but not from about half down. But you don't want it on, you don't want it sticking out the bottom here. And so then we're just going to put them about there. Now, you could do them sideways or, you know, at an angle. For this purpose, we'll just slip them in like that. See? And then that's your little handle. Easy to get it in and out. Now, we can go ahead and go like this. Like this. Tap that over. Uh-oh. What happened to my tape? There it is. And tape it before you turn it, so that way it won't wiggle all over. I'm having a little hard time with this tape for some reason. Happens to everyone, right? Things aren't always perfect. Alright. So now, I'm going to go like this, like so, and this will go in here. Ta-da! Isn't that cute? Isn't that sweet? So, forgive me, again, I do have, I hate to say it, I think it might be a cold. I walked through a retail store yesterday, not mentioning any names, and I think I picked something up from there. So, I just wanted to say I hope you enjoyed the class. And here it is. And with the little, isn't that sweet? Isn't that sweet? That's a wonderful springtime card. And my theme for the month of April is Spring Fling, because April showers bring May flowers. And I may do something with the rain theme too. We get a lot of rain here. And, but I just think that's really, really sweet. And I love how these colors blend in with this background so nicely. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked the card. And perhaps you'll, you know, make one of your own or something similar. It doesn't have to be exact, duplicate. And if you'd share it with me, I'd love that. My email is laurenrs@centurylink.net, and just tell me who you are and what you're, you know, and send me a card. Send me something you've done. I'd love to see it, and would love to share it. If I can figure out a way of doing it, I'll figure out a way of doing it. I don't have a website yet. That's my next goal, is one goal at a time. Actually, my next goal is, let me show you this to the side here. If you can see it. You see those? Those are, we are memory keepers. And what they are stacks. They're plastic trays that hold 12 by 12 paper, right? This great stuff. This 12 by 12 and this and the pads, these are just single sheets, but they also hold pads of paper. And I have purchased those I got from We Are Memory Keepers. They had a great sale on them. And I also bought a Wayfair makes a it's a cube, but it's set into 3 sections. So I've bought 2. I'll have them stacked on top of each other. They're really sturdy, and supposedly they're 13.5 inches on the inside, both ways, 13.5 by 13.5. So that will, and 13.5 like a cube. And these are 13 by 13 by 13. So hopefully these will fit in there beautifully. I have grand hopes for that, and I'll keep you posted, let you know in the next video if it worked. And I'm trying to organize the room. Always trying to organize this room. It's the Virgo in me. And I want to get it organized so that it's just easier. It's easier on your brain. If you work with a clear, clean surface when you start, for myself anyway, it just makes for a really clean environment, and it clears my brain to create. Otherwise, if I have too many things in front of me, my brain can't handle all that. I need clean space to work to be creative. So, God bless you all. Have a wonderful day, and may you not catch my cold. Bye.